Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? Welcome to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we're going to talk about something that is stopping us from living the life that we want, to take the risks that we want, to take the path that we want to take. And that is the fear of judgment. Most of us are afraid of being judged because we want to be accepted. We want to be viewed by others in our best self, right? So what we do is we choose a different path than the path that we want to take or we are willing or our desired path. Okay? So in this video, I'm going to talk about why people choose or why people have this fear of judgment and how we can overcome those fear and make you live the life that you want to live without having to worry about anybody else. So in case you don't know who I am, my name is Reem and I'm a transformational life coach. I help people have a different perspective in life, is a more positive one and a more positive outlook towards life and negative situations. And I help them to become the best version of themselves. Okay? So like I said, today we're going to talk about the fear of judgment. And normally when you think about judgment or someone judging someone else, it's basically because they don't have the full picture or they have the incomplete information or just half the truth, right? For example, if you see a couple fighting in the mall or in the street or wherever, and then you see the man just shouting at his wife and saying all kind of stuff to her, and you're gonna see this and be like, what is wrong with him? Or maybe you can even call the police. In some countries you can just call the police about and call this abuse, right? It's an abuse, he's abusing her. But the thing is, you never know why he's doing this. And then when you're looking at it, you're sympathizing the woman because he's just shouting at her, but then you don't know what happened. What if he just found out that his wife or his partner just cheated on him? Yes, it's different now. You're gonna sympathize more on him and put the blame all on the lady, right? So this is the thing. Nobody knows the full picture. Nobody knows what is actually happening. And this is why people judge others, right? So why do we fear judgment? That's the first question you need to understand. Why? Why do we fear the judgment? The first thing and the most common reason is we want to be accepted or validated by others. We want others to accept us how we are because we don't want to be the victim of the society we're living in. We all are part of a society, of a community, right? So we don't want to be any kind of victim in that society we're living in. So we want people to like us, not hate us or criticize us. So we choose to do whatever is accepted to others, not to us, right? And another reason can be that we try to avoid discomfort, we try to avoid conflicts with others, right? We try to just be comfortable around others, do whatever is right to people so we can just, go along and live a normal life, right? And another reason is, the way I see it is, we want to be remembered as these perfectionists, we want to be remembered as, oh, this person is just so perfect. But the thing about being a perfectionist is nobody is a perfectionist. Nobody is perfect. We're all imperfect human beings. So the fact that you're looking for perfectionism is, again, you're trying to look for something that's not even there. And this is going to cause you to think that, oh no, I have to be perfect. Maybe I'm not, maybe it's not there, but the other person thinks that there are perfect people, so I want to be perfect. No, that's not accepted. Nobody is perfect. Okay, so these are basically the main reasons. There can be other reasons, and you can share them in the comment below if you find any reason that why people fear judgment, but these are the ones I found very common in our society. Okay, so now we have to think about how we can overcome this fear of judgment or these thoughts that we have, right? So the first thing is, like I always say, you have to be aware of any kind of emotion or any kind of thought that you're having, right? And in this case, you have to be aware of your inner critic. You have to start shifting your thoughts, your beliefs, everything. You need to shift them to a more positive and to a more optimistic one. And the only way you can do this is if you are aware of them. You need to take control of your own thoughts and your own beliefs so that you can start going or walking into the path that you want to, right? So the first thing is just be aware of your inner critic. Be aware of your thoughts, take control of them, and try shifting them. You need to work on shifting them from negative thoughts to a more positive and optimistic ones. And this is done, or this can be done, if we think about the second step. That is, you need to accept that you are going to be judged regardless of whatever you do. Because we have all kinds of people around us. Some people will accept you for what you're doing, and others will always have a different perspective, will have a different opinion about what you're trying to do. So in the end, you have to just look for something that is going to make you happy, that is going to make you do whatever you want. It's always about you, and it's not about others. Okay? So what you have to do, so like I said, the second step is you have to accept that you are going to be judged no matter what. Okay? And the minute this sinks in, everything else is going to change. You're going to do things that you see right. Of course, I am not saying that if you know something is wrong, you have to do it regardless of what other people think. No, I am saying that if what you're doing is not a wrong thing to do, then you have the full right to do it. Okay? Live the life that you want, make the decision that you want, take risks to become better, to grow from your place. Okay? And next is you need to know your own judgment. You have to notice your own judgment. And how you can do that is you would see yourself when you're judging others, right? You would notice when you're judging others. So see how much most people are afraid. This is something that I had with one of my clients, and she did not know that she was a judgmental person, and she was just afraid of being judged. When I asked her how much you judge people and what would you, and when I gave her different scenarios and how she would judge these people, she noticed herself that she was judgmental. And when she did, she started working on that, so she started accepting herself more. And this way, she did not really care about people's judgment, and she understood that she is going to be judged regardless. So this is what you need to do. You need to notice your own judgment. If you're being very judgmental, you need to change that first before you act thinking that others are going to stop judging you. And the last thing is you need to stop letting others define who you are. You are who you are. They are who they are. So no, you have to define your own strengths and your own limitations. You need to know them. And I did not say weaknesses, because nobody is weak. We all have limitations that we can improve to make them strengths. Okay? And the main thing for me, and the main thing that you should be working on, is you need to have this I am enough mentality. You need to believe. You need to tell yourself that you are enough. Regardless of what others say, you are enough. You are who you are. If you have limitations, you can figure them out and you can work on them. But you are enough. You have to always tell yourself, I am enough. Okay? So I hope that this is useful for you, and that you have gained some points that you can work on yourself. And remember that nobody's gonna love you more than you love yourself. And regardless of what people say, the effect is always gonna affect you, not them. Anything that happens in your life is about you, it's not about them. So regardless if you're trying to get approval from others, it will just harm you. You have to live the life that you choose to live, because it's your own life. You own your life. Okay? So I hope to see you next week. And if you have any comments, anything to add to whatever I said, please share them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can always be updated with my videos. Okay? Have a good week. Take care.